So think of our immune system as like tanks, soldiers, fighter airplanes that will do anything to protect us from bad people or aliens. In this case, the big bad alien is this virus. So the question is, how do we strengthen our tanks, our airplanes, our soldiers, our immune system to fight this big bad virus? Welcome to another episode of Pain Relief, Just the Facts. I've received a question about COVID-19 which I believe was worth sharing. The question was, how do I become the best version of myself in case I get COVID-19? I wanted to address this question because I believe this affects everyone. Our physical and mental health are connected to one another, and the virus affects both. It affects us directly through our work, our families, our day-to-day lives, and our spirit. So if our mental health is affected, exercises, activities, or movement will be the last thing in our minds. So let's talk about COVID-19. CO stands for Corona, VI stands for virus, and D stands for disease. And the 19 at the very end stands for 2019, which means the virus came around on 2019. So a virus is an infectious agent that goes in our body, attacks our cells, replicates or multiplies, which can cause serious health problems, especially our lungs and our hearts. Our body fights this virus through our immune system or our defense system. So think of our immune system as like tanks, soldiers, fighter airplanes that will do anything to protect us from bad people or aliens. In this case, the big bad alien is this virus. So the question is, how do we strengthen our tanks, our airplanes, our soldiers, our immune system to fight this big bad virus? So it would absolutely make sense to strengthen our immune system as much as possible in case we get COVID, so we could kill this virus immediately. So let me share my ideas so you can be the best version of yourself during this pandemic. Let's get to it. I wanted to address is the importance of movement in our daily lives. I think this is very, very vital in our mental and our physical health. Let me explain why. When we move, our circulation of blood throughout our body improves a lot. So remember that blood is like a delivery system throughout our body that delivers oxygen. So it would make sense that if we have good oxygen all over our body, we function better. For example, our heart pumps well, can pump blood throughout our body a lot better. We can breathe better because our lungs are working well. Our bowel movements are regular because our GI system or our intestines are working well. Our muscles work better, which can help you in your day-to-day activities. Our joints are well lubricated, which means that we can move better and we have less pain. That's why people who have arthritis feel better once they start moving, because their joints are lubricated, right? And one of the most important organs in our body that gets supplied by oxygen is our brain. When you have good supply of oxygen in your brain, you think better, your critical thinking skills improves, and your decision-making skills improves. Your mood also improves because your body produces these chemicals that make you happy. That's why you're happy after you work out, right? Your stress is reduced, your anxiety is reduced, which in turn improves your sleep. And you don't have to do those crazy things you see in social media where people do crazy workouts. You can just start by walking or taking a few steps. You can start in your backyard, your living room, and if you feel more confident, you can walk outside your neighborhood. You can start with a few steps, build your way up to 5 minutes, 10, 20, 30, and before you know it, you'll be walking 45 minutes every single day, and you won't go a day without walking because it's part of your life, and it's because it's second nature. So my challenge for you is just start moving whenever you feel overwhelmed. Take a deep breath, shut off all electronic devices, and move. As not only does it affect your physical health, it also affects your mental health, which significantly improves your quality of life. What I would also recommend is to shut off all the noise, like your laptops or your cell phone. that would give you a constant stream of news or information that would cause you a lot of anxiety or stress. I personally shut off this laptop because this is where I get all my information as far as news and what's going on around the world. And I stop reading literature or magazines that would cause me a lot of stress or anxiety. So I would put that aside first and I would read something light, like this comic book, or I walk outside, I breathe, and then I put everything aside for a little bit. That way I'm not overwhelmed with things. So if you're like me, I would highly recommend to shut off all constant stream of information or news that would give you a lot of anxiety or stress. Take a deep breath, play with your pets, play with your family members. It doesn't matter. You know yourself best and you know what's best for you as far as calming yourself down, anything that would lower your anxiety and stress. So hopefully that helps. Acknowledgement and acceptance that this virus is real and it is here to stay. It is not a political issue. This is based on facts and science. That way we can find means and ways to help ourselves. So it could be through mental health professionals, it could be through self-help books, or seeking help from your family members or your friends. I personally get anxious and a little bit stressed out if I don't know what I'm up against, especially when this virus came out. I was scrambling for things to do because I had no idea how to protect myself. So I did my due diligence and I researched, I read. I followed experts' advice, experts from the CDC, WHO, or World Health Organization, or NIH, or National Institutes of Health. If you're interested in following them as well, I've recommended links below here. So if you wanted to check that out, by all means. The reason why I do this is because I know for a fact that everything that I'm reading are based on facts. They're not based on conspiracy theories. And that eases my anxiety and stress a lot. I've also gathered information for you in case you wanted to talk to a mental health professional or seek help from credible organizations. So I've also included them on the link below here. If you wanted to reach out to professionals regarding your mental health, if you have any thoughts about suicide or hurting yourself, I hope that's not the case. Or if you have any issues or concerns about child abuse, domestic violence, sexual abuse, if you're an elderly person that requires help or assistance in your house, or if you're a veteran, I've also gathered information for you in case you were interested or if you need some help. So I've placed everything on the description box below so it's easy for you. It's just one click away. You could call these people up or you could text them. So another advice or tip that would really boost your immune system is sleep. I remember back in college, I know this is a little bit of a segue, but I remember back in college that whenever I would go back home with dark circles around my eyes and I would visit family members, the first thing that my parents or my grandparents would ask me is that if I've had enough sleep. And I think there is wisdom behind that because sleep really helps our immune system and our overall health. It reduces our cravings for food. If we don't sleep as much, we produce these substances in our body that increases our appetite, and then we tend to overeat, and this can lead to a lot of problems in the future, such as diabetes, high blood pressure, or obesity. Another benefit of good sleep is that it reduces the risk of high blood pressure, because if we lack sleep, our blood pressure increases, which in turn can increase our risk of having a stroke in the future. Next one is that good sleep reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes, because if we lack sleep, our body cannot produce or regulate our hormones or these substances in our body that regulates our blood sugar levels. And number 3, good sleep leads to improved memory and improved productivity and improved mood. Good sleep also reduces your risk of depression. I guess the $1 million question is how much sleep do we need? So experts in this field have concluded that we need at least 7 to 9 hours of good uninterrupted sleep. I know for some people this is very difficult to do because life is hard. We have bills to pay, we have kids, we have problems, we have anxiety, we have stress. So my advice is just get as much sleep as your life allows you to. Number 5 is diet and nutrition and water. Water is definitely very, very important for you to boost your immune system because your blood is composed of majority of water. And as you all know, if you have good blood flow, everything else follows. You already know how important blood flow is throughout your body. It also helps you release all the toxins and waste throughout your body. It also helps you regulate your temperature. And at the same time, it keeps your skin nice and healthy. So moving on is diet and nutrition and food. So there's so many things I could talk about food that I could make a whole episode about it. So I just want to keep this short and simple. I've always believed in well-balanced meals. And as you all remember, when we were kids, it was go, grow, and glow. Food was divided into that category. So your go is your carbohydrates such as your rice, pasta, and your bread. These keeps you it's called go because it fuels you, it gives you energy throughout the day to do your activities of daily living. And grow is your protein because it helps your muscles grow. Generally, red meat is less healthier than white meat because they're high in saturated fats. And at the same time, red meat is also linked to cancer, diabetes. So examples of red meats are your venison, you have your beef, and white meats are your poultry, your chicken, your fish, and even rabbit. And one more thing about red meat is that it has purine content, which can lead to gout. So again, a lot of Filipinos out there, and easy lang sa red meat because it can give you arthritis and it is a high risk for arthritis and gout, okay? And the last one are your fruits and veggies. As you all know, it's super important because they have a lot of minerals and nutrients in them. So you don't have to do those crazy diets you see in social media. My take on this is everything in moderation and have a well-balanced diet. And drink your water every day. You know you're doing it right with water because you keep going to the bathroom, which means you're also moving. So you're hitting two birds with one stone. And last but not least is deep breathing. I know I've mentioned this several times in my videos, but I cannot stress this further enough that deep breathing really helps with reducing the stress on our shoulder and our neck muscles. And it allows our breathing muscles, such as the diaphragm, to work efficiently. So if you want to learn about deep breathing, you click the video that says massage and breathe pain away. So just to recap, and I just want to refresh your memory on everything that we discussed today. To boost your immune system, number one is moving. Move. Just get up and move. It helps with your blood. It helps with your heart, lungs, and different organs, and all the organs in your body. And it also helps with your mental and your physical health. And number two is take a break to reduce stress. If you are super anxious and super stressed, listening to constant stream of information of bad news, shut off all electronic devices, take a deep breath, move, and take a break. And the third one is acknowledgement and acceptance. Acknowledgement and acceptance that this virus is real. It is here to stay. It is not based on conspiracy theories. It is that way you can find practical solutions to help yourself cope with this pandemic. And the fourth one is sleep. Make sure you sleep. Get adequate amount of sleep every day because this boosts your immune system. And the fifth one is make sure you eat well-balanced meals and drink your water. And the last one is breathing. Don't forget to breathe, take deep breaths to lower your anxiety and your stress. So I want to cap this day off and end this day by stating my thoughts on knowledge is power. Right now, I've given you a lot of information on how to boost your immune system, which makes you the best version of yourself against COVID-19. This big bad virus is not so big and bad anymore when your immune system is stronger and bigger. Again, my name is Kyle. Take care, be safe. I got your back.